Hello, Florida Realtors. This is Jihan Awad. I am the owner broker for La Rosa Realty, and I'm also the property management with La Rosa Property Management. Today, we're going to be talking about how to become a successful with rental and property management. My name is Jihan Awad. Again, I'm the owner broker for La Rosa Realty, Central Florida. We also have our La Rosa Property Management team, Jessica Rivera and Damaris Raymond. What's today's agenda? We're going to be talking about a quick review for Fair Housing Act. We're also going to be talking about types of rental services. Number 3, we will be talking about tips before meeting with the homeowner. Number 4, tips for preparing to list the property. Number 5, marketing strategies. Number 6, general tips. Number 7, tenant placement only versus property management. And number 8, choosing a qualified tenant. Number 9, move in and out procedures. And number 10, we'll be talking about additional tips, which is so important, number 10. Let's talk about the Fair Housing Act. The Fair Housing Act is basically a federal law that prohibits discrimination in home sales, financing, and rental based on race, color, region, sex, or a national region. In Florida, we are surrounded with many laws. Some of them can be coming from federal laws or others. My advice to you to join the NARPM, National Association Residential Property Management. So this way you will be knowledgeable and educated with all the laws that is going to come, because the property management is not only about collecting money and pay the homeowner. You need to be aware of what's the laws and what's right and what's wrong. Education is so important. Number 2, we're going to give you the types of the rental services that you could be facing. Of course, you can get owners from marketing, or owner can find you from referrals or know you from before to do the property management. And it's going to be based on 3 scenarios. Number 1, owner will be looking for a property management with vacant property. Number 2, owner will be looking for a property manager with the tenant in place. Number 3, owner will be looking for a realtor for tenant to put a tenant in place. We're going to be talking about all the scenarios and divide it in 2 different items and go in details at the end. I'm going to give you some tips before meeting with the homeowner. Let's say you're going to meet the homeowner to put his property in the market. What you need to do. In our company, La Rosa Realty, we have .loop, and with La Rosa Property Management, they have the FOU system. Before you meet the owner, you need to prepare all the documents needed at the .loop file and merge it with La Rosa Property Management if applicable. The .loop lease package for all rentals, and also the La Rosa Property Management document provided by La Rosa Property Management upon completion of requirement orientation. What does that mean? When you do prepare all the document to go in .loop, you will see the rental list. You will get all the requirement from the lease package for all rentals, and you also will have your orientation with La Rosa Property Management if your owner chooses for you to be a property manager. What kind of document? You will know all about this document at the orientation time. Number 2, when you meet the owner, you need to prepare some questions. The questions would be about the HOA rules and regulation and all the requirements for the HOA, if applicable. If there is application needed, parking permit, mailbox, all that very important for you to know before you list the property. Number 3, before you meet the owner, you need to search about the market area and the rent prices for accurate prices recommendation. Just as you do a CMA when you list a property for sale, you need to do the same thing for the lease. Let me give you some tips before preparing to list a property in the market. You need to schedule a tour for the property. Of course, you need to see the property if it needs any upgrades or any problem needs to be taken care of before you list the property. Number two, when you meet the owner, you always need to say something nice, positive about the property, and identify the upgrades, if any. Number three, again, when you check the unit, you need to check the community pool area, if any, or any other amenities. Verify and how the tenant will obtain access. Number four, for single family home, confirm what will be or not be included in the rent. Some homeowners, especially single family home, they will ask you to have the tenant take care of the lawn, take care of the pool. And some owners, they said, no, it will be included in the rent. You need to make sure you have all this answer before you list the property in the market. Number five, property available for showing and time, confirm available move-in. If the property is available for showing, that's easy. But if the property is not vacant, you need to make sure from the homeowner when it's good to show, and if it's rented, when is the lease will end. Number six, if tenant occupied, verify the lease end and establish time frame for any repair or improvement prior to availability. That means if the tenant is there and if any repair needs to be done before list the property, make sure that it will be done. Number seven, prepare all listing and marketing materials for advertising the property. And that's so easy. Again, marketing material could be on the MLS or other social media. At the end, be sure to familiarize yourself with and adhere to Fair Housing Act. Identify, set, and share criteria in accordance with the Fair Housing Act. It's so important. Please take care of this part. Marketing strategy. What is the marketing strategy could be? Number one, you need to share some information about yourself and be so confident and will inform and positive you are not alone. You have a whole team support system behind you, which is they all were behind my success. I started with one unit and I have very large amount of units right now. It's all because the system and because of the team who are behind me. They are behind every step and they are oversees everything what I do. They advise, they educate, they provide a lot of good services. I'm talking about La Rosa Property Management. Number two, if you will be managing the property, share the benefits of working with La Rosa Property Management. Again, as I explained to you, there is a big, huge team behind you, between the accounting, between the service call, the emails, even the payment, how tenant can do payment. I just personally got stuck with a tenant. He used to pay going to the office and drop off check every month. And what happened in March, we were closed. And because of our system, we're able to pay by phone. And this tenant is not able even to do any emails or any system. He was able to pay by phone. See? Be proud and knowledge about what the service that property management provide. You can also share La Rosa Property Management website to the homeowner and be proud of how many units we have and how we do the marketing. We get so many leads by adding the property on lavosapropertymanagement.com. Even if you're not doing the listing with them, manage with them, you still can list the property only for this website. Number three, contact La Rosa Property Management for additional marketing options as well as application and background screening service is available to La Rosa Realty agents. As I explained to you, this service does not have to be only for property management, but also for La Rosa Realty family. That means when you have a tenant, when you do have an owner, gave you a property, you list the property on MLS and share it with La Rosa Property Management. Once you share it with them, it's automatically going to be in La Rosa Property Management website. And you will have your own link that you can share with the tenant for them to apply and receive the screening application the next business day. Share it in your social media network, on your Facebook and Instagram, and now you can also do YouTube. Now I'm going to give you some general tips. You need to gather all the documents together, list the property on the MLS, and then send it to La Rosa Property Management website if you need it. Show the property to the prospective tenant. Once you get the application approved, accept it and process the application. The next step, you need to collect holding deposit upon application approval. For La Rosa Property Management properties and for the La Rosa Property Managed properties, an email will be sent to the approval tenant with a folio tenant portal activation. After the tenant is approved, the office will send via the system how the tenant can pay the first month rent or every month, so on. And of course, they will explain to them what to do. The tenant will have his own screen with his own password that he will set it up. Now we're going to be talking about tenant placement only versus property management. Let's talk about the tenant placement. First, if you are only taking a property and you only going to rent it, again, you need to start your package with the dot loop, which is exclusive right of lease agreement, MLS broker print sheet, executed lease after you have the tenant, of course, and any photos for the property for the listing. Of course, you're going to have everything with the checklist, rental checklist, listed on the MLS, and contact La Rosa Property Management to market and accept applications on larosapropertymanagement.com. You also need to submit a complete CDA and broker sumo so your file will be approved. And that's, of course, with your compliance, you need to check with your office what is the rental checklist. You need to collect and deliver the commission funds made payable only to your brokerage. Even if you're using La Rosa Property Management website to get a tenant and the tenant applied through them, they get approved, all funds must be sent to you, your brokerage. I'm talking about La Rosa Realty Family. Now we're going to be talking about the property management site. If your homeowner chooses you to do the property management and you need to list the property again on the MLS and take the property management. So you're going to do the same thing with the dot loop. As well, you're going to contact La Rosa Property Management to schedule mandatory La Rosa Property Management orientation. Same dot loop listing and broker sumo process. Same exact thing. The La Rosa Property Management Agreement will replace the exclusive right of lease agreement. All payment collected made payable to La Rosa Property Management. This part is a little bit different. If you are doing the property management with La Rosa Property Management, all funds must be collected and be made payable to La Rosa Property Management. Why? Because they are the one gonna cut the commission check to your company, which is whatever. My company, for example, is La Rosa Central Florida. The check will be sent to the brokerage and the brokerage will cut the check to their agent. You do not get the commission direct from La Rosa Property Management. La Rosa Property Management will not gonna pay you commission. As I said, La Rosa Property Management will forward all commission funds to your brokerage. If your homeowner does not have a required ITIN number, which is tax ID, you or your homeowner may contact Safter Alley in corporate office at safter@larosadev.com for assistance. He can help your owner to apply for this tax ID number. There is a process and there is a fee. There is application. He needs to fill it up. The homeowner will not gonna get paid until we have this ITIN number. If you choose to have the homeowner get paid, you need to contact the IRS and get the right process if you choose not to use Safter for that part. But my recommendation with the experience, Safter is the fastest and he is very knowledgeable and he knows what to do from A to Z. La Rosa Property Management will provide a 24-hour AFOIU viewing access to your property, tenant, homeowners information. Of course, you do have access to the AFOIU. You will have the information for the tenant there. You will have the information for the homeowner there. The homeowner does not have access, but you can share any information that he requested from you. The tenant will have his own access with his own password just to make a payment and to make, if he has any problem or issue, he can send you an email through that website. The lease must be ordered from lease.evict.com. It's not necessary if you will do only leasing, but if you will do leasing and property management with the La Rosa Property Management, it's a mandatory to do the lease via lease.evict.com. Ordering this lease is an option for non-managed property as well. Now we are going to choose the qualified tenant. And that's the biggest trick. Homeowner always come and ask you, I need a good tenant. Please stay away from those bad tenants. What's going to be your answer? There is nothing really called a good tenant or bad tenant. There is a qualified tenant and not qualified tenant. If tenants are qualified or not qualified, that's going to be according to their application result. Per the pre-disclosed criteria. Of course, when you list a property, you have to disclose what criteria you need from the tenant. Either like the score credit could be, let's say 600 or 640, no lower than this, a rental history, job verification, and so on. Details criteria regarding the rental history, the credit, income should be disclosed prior to accepting the application. As I explained to you in the previous point, that you need to put all the criteria that you need from your tenant. You also need to disclose everything about the property. Very detailed, how many bedroom, how many bathroom, what the floor type, what he need the tenant to pay once he pay the application fee, if there is a lease fee, if any other fees. Don't put any hidden fees. Tenants don't like that. Create the trust from the beginning. Save your time. About 80% of your time will be saved if you put the criteria in the right way. Security deposit. Security deposit amount and how they may be affected by background screening result should be also communicated prior to accepting the application. Again, this is the third time we are repeating. The better to disclose everything in the advertisement on your MLS, on your social media, on the Rosa website, that the criteria needs to be 640, rental history. If you have any other criteria that you need to disclose it, you must do it. Let's say the homeowner said, it's okay if I have a relocator from New York City or from Pennsylvania, what we're gonna do? You can always recommend 2 months deposit or first month rent and last month rent. In my situation, I don't like to do the first and last. I like to do the 2 months deposit. Some other property management, they do other things. You need to coordinate with your homeowner and of course ask the Rosa Property Management at the orientation what we're gonna do about that. Provide all details regarding rent, the property, and how to apply in your listing. Again, it's so important about the details of the rent and how to apply. They will give you a link and you can add that link in the MLS. And of course, when it's listed on La Rosa Property Management, the next day you get the lead, you contact them. They will have the application information in the website and they will know how to apply for it. Screening results are usually provided by the property manager within 24 hours, and rental and income verification are performed by property managers. What does that mean? La Rosa Property Management is responsible to get you the result within 24 hours. Let's say the tenant apply 11 o'clock in the morning. Within a few hours, you will probably get that result. But afternoon, let's say they apply like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, you will get the result the next business day. What you will be getting in the result? You will see the credit score. You will see some of the rental history. If they did have eviction, it will show in the credit. But if they don't have the eviction, it will not going to show. And that doesn't mean that the tenant did not have eviction. You need to do your due diligence. Number three, verification for income. You need to verify that. How are you going to do all those three? You get the score credit. If it match your criteria, move on to the next step, which is the rental verification history. And it doesn't mean, again, if it's not have any eviction history, that means your tenant is good. No, you need to check in the county if this person under eviction process or not. Let's say this property is on Osceola. You need to go to Osceola County Court and check, of course, by phone, or you can do search online on any other way. Is this tenant on eviction process right now? If not, that's good. Other way, you can use the rental verification form. The rental verification form, the owner has to, or the previous owner has to fill it up and sign it, or the previous property management have to fill it up and sign it and send it back to you. You're comfortable with that, you need to move forward to the third step, which is income verification. The income verification has a very simple calculation. You will also get to know about that in the property management orientation and how to approve your tenant with those three simple steps. Very important part, how to verify if an HOA application is required and what is the process is for approval. Confirm HOA approval period to move forward. We talked in the beginning of this video about the HOA approval, or if there is an application, who and where you can get this information from. Of course, when you see the property and you check and you did your search from before, you will know if it's in the community or if it's no community, if there is a community application or not. You will kind of gonna have an idea. If it's in a condominium, of course it will be an application. Some of them they will require, some not. But the homeowner will be the best source for you for what is the HOA requirement, guidelines, application process, and all that. You will need to get the HOA information direct from the homeowner. Contact them, ask them, what's the requirement? What's the application fee? How long is the application will take? What is the process? And all that. Run the application by Lavosa Property Management, and then send it to the application for the HOA. Why? Because sometimes the HOA takes 10 days, 15 days, but you're not going to hold a property without a deposit. You need to hold it with a deposit, and which is going to be talking more about that and later on in this video. Lavosa Property Management can provide an adverse action notice for application decline due to credit issue. Let's say on the other side that your applicant is not qualified to move forward in this property, or in the meantime he's not approved. What's he gonna do? Can you tell him verbal? Yes, you can, but it's better to be professional and just send him the declined letter, which is you're gonna receive from Lavosa Property Management. If your tenant is approved, and let's say as the other situation that there is an homeowner association application, what's he gonna do? Collect the good faith holding deposit upon approval of the application and have the applicant sign holding good faith deposit agreement. Why? Because he's gonna show that he's serious. This is a good faith. It just say good faith deposit agreement. The more serious your tenant will show, the more serious you're going to take the action, and you're probably not going to waste time or not get the risk of this tenant change his mind and not move forward with the property. You need to have, let's say this community has a HOA application. So have the holding deposit and have the tenant apply for the HOA application. If the application is not approved, he will get his deposit back. But if his application is approved, why he will get your deposit back? If he did not move, if he choose not to move forward according to the holding agreement, especially if you have to do a lease and this lease is signed by him or only or by him and the homeowner, because sometimes the HOA required the lease agreement signed by both sides, sometimes only by one side. So protect yourself, protect your homeowner faith, by the good faith deposit agreement. Once you get that, of course, you will have to complete the lease contract and have it signed by all parties. If managing the property, order the lease from lease.evict.com. Of course, if you're doing the property management with La Rosa Property Management, it's mandatory to order that lease from lease.evict.com. If not, it's an option for the homeowner to do it or not. Let's talk about the move-in and move-out procedures. It's fun. Be sure to complete a move-in inspection and have a move-out checklist signed, including all photos. The move-in and inspection is so important. Protect you, protect your homeowner, and protect your tenant. In case, God forbid, if anything happened to you, or let's say you are moving, you're leaving your job, anything happened, who's going to be protected? Your tenant, your owner. You're going to do the walkthrough when the tenant received the property. You need to do the checklist. There is a fridge, there is a stove, there are doors conditioned like this, the walls conditioned like that. Make sure you take photos. All this document, you can include it and send it to the Rosa Property Manager. They will save it in their system. Always perform property and inspections period to the lease renewal or move out. Move out inspection should also be done when tenants are turning in keys. Usually what I do quarterly inspection. If you can't do quarterly inspection, do every 6 months. If you cannot do every 6 months, just do once in the beginning and once at the end. Not at the very end. Always keep like 20 days or 30 days period lease end, and you already give the notice for your tenant for renewing or not renewing, and have them check the unit with the inspection move out checklist. Of course, you need to do this or hire a license to do it for you. When the tenant leave or period renewing. My recommendation, not to do the inspection during tenant being there. There's always going to happen an argument, and it's always going to ask you, oh, I didn't do this, or I receive it like that. And because you had a previous checklist move in and you have photos, you always can approve if you are right or wrong. Protect yourself, protect your tenant, protect the homeowner. Provide La Rosa Property Management all move out information prior to the move out date, such as the date, the time, the address where they're moving out, and contact La Rosa Property Management for the security deposit procedure or process and timelines. If the deposit is going back to the tenant, that's great. The deposit is not going back to the tenant and you need to do a claim. You will know how is the claim process, what document you need to do, and timeline with this procedure. At the orientation time, you will get to know all this information. That's why it's a mandatory for La Rosa Property Management to attend the orientation. La Rosa Property Management will assist with the additional steps required for holding and security deposit fund. As I explained to you, they will oversee everything that you do, and they will guide you, they will advise you, they will educate you, they will have all the time that you need to make sure that you're doing the correct thing. So don't be scared, and always have the power and confidence that you have a very good team right behind. Let me give you some very, very important additional tips. Number one, let's say you get this homeowner called you and said, I get your number from this realtor. She referred you to me, and I need you to do the property management. How you're gonna do the process for cutting referral check? You need to get the name of the agent who referred you, and get their W-9 from their broker. So you need to get the broker W-9 in your dot loop in order to cut the check for this agent. Submit all required form and document in dot loop. You can archive any unnecessary forms. For La Rosa Realty family or La Rosa Realty company, the corporate, the franchise, we all use the dot loop. We all have the checklist or the rental checklist, what it's included and what don't need to be included. So when you open the loop, you will see a lot of other documents. You really don't need it. Open the rental checklist, see what you need, and archive the rest. Once you have verified that property is owned by a company, provide company's active articles of incorporation. Some homeowners, they call the agent and they tell them, okay, I am the homeowner for this property, but the property is under an LLC or INC. It's under a corporate. What you gonna do in this situation? So simple. You just need to verify the owner for this property is the owner for this company. So easy. You can just go to Sunbiz and verify all this information. Make sure you print it and add it to the document. And of course, give a copy to La Rosa Property Management if you are doing that property management with us. Number 4, corrections on signed document must be initialed by all parties. It's a compliance, of course, request. Your file won't be approved if there is a scratch or if there is a mistake there and you did not do the correction in one side, and you have initial the owner initial, but the tenant did not initial, or the owner initial and you did not initial. Both sides in the contract must be initialed by both parties. Ensure that all forms and documents in dot loop are accurately and labeled. Of course, when you open the dot loop and you see lease agreement, you're not going to be posting MLS print sheet in this lease agreement. So simple. Please make sure you just label the right document in the right place. Number 6, the property manager is responsible for all communication with homeowner, tenant, vendor, and La Rosa Property Management. That means you are the middle person. You are the only person responsible for the communication between the homeowner and the tenant, between the homeowner and the vendor, between the homeowner and La Rosa Property Management. And also, God forbid, if you need the communication between the homeowner and the attorney in the future, if any problems for eviction or anything. So you are the responsible for all that. Please increase your communication skills if it's kind of low. Increase your education, your knowledge, all that is so important to be a success property management. Homeowners are fully responsible for paying anything that can result in late fee, liens, penalties, foreclosures. These included, but are not limited to taxes, insurance, mortgage, utilities, and HOA, COA. Please do not volunteer to help the homeowner pay their insurance, their taxes, their HOA fees. The homeowner really can do it themselves. If the homeowner can receive money from us, that means he have a bank account here in America, they also can make a payment for their property management, for their taxes and for their insurance and for their mortgage. Do not put yourself in this high risk. It's really high. Be aware of any community HOA, rental restriction, and requirement. We already talked about it before, but we'll see if it has more details. It's always good to have it and remind yourself to get it from the homeowner. For managed properties, unpaid rent may result at 3 days notice of eviction. Providing notice is a responsibility for the property manager. As a La Rosa Property Management, they will provide you all the needed or the necessary document that you may need to provide it to the tenant. If it's a 3 days notice, they will provide it to you, and they will also can review if it's typed correctly or not. So important to type this document in a very correct way. So important. But who's going to post it in the door? You. Yes, you are the property management for this property. So you are the one responsible to post it at the door. Of course, you can hire other person to help you. Just make sure they are licensed so they don't get in trouble later on. Highly recommended a home warranty policy to owner and rentals policy to tenant, HWA and La Rosa Insurance. As you know, you are a La Rosa, part of La Rosa Realty family. You know that we are partnered with a very strong home warranty company, which is HWA. And we also partner with La Rosa Insurance. Those two companies, they are also serving you and your homeowner. How? Every homeowner can have a problem for the AC, for the, let's say, plumbing, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna keep calling vendors to get them the better price. Some vendors, they don't show up on time. Some vendors, they are so expensive. Some vendors, they don't even have insurance or license, which is so important, and it's your big responsibility when you hire someone. They need to be insured and licensed. How to avoid all that headache? Just offer the homeowner home warranty from HWA. We get very good prices and they have great service. You just call one number and will they provide you with all the services that they need. You pay one time a year or you pay monthly. Of course, not you, the homeowner, and the service is open 24/7, 12 months of the year. The other partner that we have, again, La Rosa Insurance. How can we benefit from them? Why don't you offer your tenant a rental insurance, which can cost them between $10 to $15 a month, but that will cover them if any problems or hurricane problems or flood problem or gas problem, that can cover them many things. Make sure to have the tenant call the company and get them the good deal. Some owners, they can cover the tenant with rental insurance and home warranty, and some owners, they don't want to do that. So make sure you communicate good with your tenant, communicate good with your vendor, communicate good with everybody. It's so important. Again, I want you to be success with the property management, with the rentals. It's so important, and it's fun. If you like communication, if you are patient, if you have the knowledge and have the education, why not? Do it and don't be scared. It's always good to help others and help yourself as well. My name is Jihan Awad with La Rosa Realty Central Florida, and my phone number down here, it's 201-284-8689. It's really a pleasure giving you this class. Please give me a call if you need any help or any question. Thank you and have a great day.